Did we take care of Tracy Phillips?
No, Your Honor, we have not.
All right. Counsel, that reflects a summons. Does your file reflect a service? Find that Mr. Phillips is not here. 9 o'clock docket, it's 12.
It does, Your Honor. The return on the summons that I have in my file would appear to indicate residential service on a third party, seemingly a roommate, back in June.
All right, I'm going to issue a warrant, not a bench warrant, but a warrant for, as there's already been an attempt to get service. It's been unsuccessful. Perhaps it was successful and blown off, but I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. I'm going to set bond at 1,000 cash or surety.
Very good.
We are on the record in 2023 TR 3395, State of Kansas versus Tracy Lynn Phillips. Jared Regier for the state. The defendant, Miss Phillips, appears in person and pro se. Let's see. September 4th, the defendant failed to appear. Miss Phillips, I trust you posted that $1,000 cash or surety bond.
Well, yes, I didn't have a choice.
Right. Well, you could have stayed in jail, but that's not a very good choice. All right. We are showing in count one that you were driving, the state's alleging you were driving without a tag or an expired tag, November 8th of 23. And then that the vehicle not only had an expired tag, but a plate was on there that wasn't assigned to it.
And Your Honor,
Yes.
with court certification, I am showing that an amended information was filed back in June of 2024.
Okay, let me go off of that one then. Is this the case where she was here and there were allegations of identity theft or something? I remember her name associated with that. That case was dismissed, wasn't it?
Your Honor, I would need to review my notes further, but the state's understanding is that is an unrelated matter.
Unrelated. Okay. All right. Well, Ms. Phillips, there is an amended information, as counsel said, that was filed June 12th of 2024. And that, the official charging document that you're on today, alleges in count one.
Buckle up, because today's case is a wild ride through courtroom chaos, sovereign citizen antics, and a judge who's got zero patience for nonsense. At the center of it all, Tracy Phillips, a self-proclaimed sovereign citizen who's convinced she doesn't have to play by the rules of Kansas law. Over the course of multiple hearings, we'll see Tracy dodge court dates, complain about attorneys, and even try to bring up admiralty law in a traffic case. Yes, you heard that right. Admiralty law. Think ships, oceans, and sailors. In a Kansas courtroom. This video has it all. Legal confusion, fiery exchanges, and a judge who's about to give Tracy the reality check she's been avoiding. Stay tuned, because the drama only escalates.
That you were on November 8th, 2023, in Butler County, operating a motor vehicle on a highway of this state while displayed was a license plate or registration decal other than the one assigned. As charged, this is an unclassified misdemeanor, and it carries a fine up to $2,500 and a sentence of 30 days to 6 months. Failure to register, count 2 was dismissed by the state on June 11, 2024. Then in count 3, you're accused of operating that vehicle without insurance, or at least being able to provide proof. That is as charged, a B non-person misdemeanor. If convicted, there is a $300 fine up to $1,000 and up to 6 months in the county jail. Count 4 alleges that you apparently moved from the address given when you applied for and received your Kansas driver's license and you failed to notify the Division of Motor Vehicles of the new address within 10 days after moving. This charge is an unclassified misdemeanor, which typically carries a fine up to $500 and a possible sentence up to 30 days. I don't know what your history is. I don't know if
That should have also been dropped, because I brought that in. I did that over the internet.
I'm sorry, what did you bring in?
I dropped that. Oh, I did that over the internet. My change of address, and had brought that in. The date that was on my
And there it is. The first sign Tracy's "I don't need the court" attitude is going to cost her. Failing to show up might feel like sticking it to the system in sovereign citizen land. But in the real world, it just gets you a warrant and a $1,000 bond. Judges aren't playing games here. This is the first big lesson. When you treat a summons like junk mail, the court doesn't shrug it off. It tightens the leash. Do you think Tracy is learning that yet? Yeah, probably not.
actual ticket that the officer gave me, I came in on that date. There was no court date. I brought in that change of address then.
Are you going to want an attorney to represent you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Are you going to be able to hire an attorney, or do you need to apply for counsel?
I can try and hire an attorney.
You think you have the means to do so? Okay. Well, if you don't, please get an application. You might take an application with you in case you don't. Like maybe you get out there and you find out that they're more expensive than you thought or something like that. So while you're here in the courthouse, it doesn't hurt to take a form with you. And if you need a court appointed, get that back to me soon. Don't wait till your next court date.
Sure.
Because unfortunately, the next attorney docket traffic date, Destiny, is that April 16th also?
No, Your Honor, that would be March 17th.
Oh, well, okay. March 17th. You need to be back here March 17th. That's St. Patrick's Day. So March 17th at 9 a.m. with your attorney.
This is where the weight of her case really starts to hit. The judge lays it out. Multiple misdemeanors, thousands in fines, and up to 6 months in jail per count. That's a serious stack of potential punishment over something Tracy probably thought was just a traffic stop. This is the irony with sovereign citizen types. They see it as a game of loopholes and word salad, but the law stacks up fast. Question for you guys. Do you think she's realizing the real stakes here? Or is she still convinced her internet legal theories will save her?
Next one up is Tracy Phillips. She's pro se.
Okay. We are on the record in 23 TR 3395, State of Kansas versus Tracy Lynn Phillips. Jared Regier for the state. Defendant Tracy Phillips appears in person and pro se. Miss Phillips, this is, of course, not your first appearance. That was back September 4th, and you failed to appear at that hearing. Then you were here January 8th, and you wanted to hire an attorney. You were informed that if you were able to hire, you needed to fill out an application, which apparently you did not do.
Not for a public defender, no.
So how do you want to proceed on these 4 traffic charges: driving without tag, driving without tag displayed, driving without insurance, and driving without changing your address or phone or no?
Yeah, I changed my address. I wasn't driving this vehicle. I mean, I drive a company truck.
All right, so you're pleading not guilty. You want this set
Yes,
for
ma'am.
trial?
Yes, I do.
And are you going to have an attorney represent you?
So I'm going to try to. I'm trying to find an attorney.
Okay, but you don't want to apply for court appointed, is that right?
No, I don't. Last one threw me under the bus. I prefer not to do that.
Okay, we're going to go to trial at 1:30 on, what's your next trial date, Jen?
May 14th.
May 14th at 1:30. You must be back here. You can either be in person or by Zoom, May 13th or May 14th.
Classic sovereign move. Oh, I already did that. The system just didn't update it. Tracy tries to argue she filed her change of address online, so the charge should vanish. But here's the problem. Courts don't run on, "Trust me, I did it." They need proof, documentation, records. This is the core clash. Tracy thinks effort equals compliance, while the court requires evidence. It's the same pattern we see over and over in sovereign citizen cases. A refusal to accept that process matters as much as intent.
Tracy Phillips. She is a pro se defendant in court security. Now, Miss Phillips, you're charged, we're not on the record yet, but Miss Phillips, you're charged with a tag violation, another form of tag violation,
What?
no liability insurance, and not changing your address. We are set for trial. Are you wanting to have a trial on that, Miss Phillips, or do you want to try to talk to the county attorney and come to a resolution? What's your plan on this, since you're representing yourself?
I'm sorry, I just assume be done with it. I mean, I can talk to the county attorney. I don't have an issue with that as well. I guess I'm not understanding why you don't have my change of address.
Well,
That
I
was
don't
done
get
over the internet.
that. I don't
Okay.
get that. It goes to Topeka Department of Revenue. It's for your
Well,
driver's license.
Yes, well, it was brought in and should have been added to the long time ago when I first got the ticket.
Okay, but it's not like insurance. Well, all right, we'll say that. Right now, we are on the record in 2023 TR 3395, State of Kansas versus Tracy Lynn Phillips. Jared Regier appearing for the state. The defendant, Miss Phillips, appears in person and pro se. Miss Phillips, I understand that you're wanting to represent yourself on this matter. Is that correct?
Well, I don't have a choice.
Well, you do. You have had the opportunity since November.
Judge does something really smart here. He recaps Tracy's entire journey so far. Missed her first hearing, showed up the second, promised to get a lawyer, didn't file for one, and now here she is, still winging it. This recap isn't just for the record. It's a way of showing Tracy, and us, that her problems aren't bad luck. They're self-inflicted. It's a roadmap of procrastination and deflection. And yet, she's about to double down with even more sovereign nonsense.
Statutory law in the state of Kansas.
And if
So
this is a trial, why is there no jury?
this is not a jury trial because it was set for bench trial. You didn't ask for a
Okay.
jury trial.
I didn't consent to any of this, but
All right. So you want to proceed with trial, or did you want to try to negotiate an outcome with the prosecutor?
I can speak with the prosecutor.
Well, I'm not trying to talk you into it. I'm just trying to afford you the opportunity that an attorney would take if he
Yes, ma'am,
represented
I
you.
understand. I understand.
All right. So what is your wish? Do you want, if he's willing to talk to you and try, if he's willing to consider a negotiation, are you wanting to do that?
Sure. Yes, ma'am.
Now, Mr. Regier, when I ask you this, I don't mean to suggest you have to, or that there'll be consequences if you don't. But as I said, I just want to afford the defendant the opportunity, but that's subject to if you want to do it. So do you want to take the time, or are you willing to take the time to visit with her, or do you think there's any productive outcome possible from that?
Your Honor, at this time, the state would request clarification from the court whether it is fine that the defendant is representing herself and has appropriately waived her right to counsel. Based off of prior statements made on the record today, there does appear to be, if the court will pardon the conjecture, a certain degree of ambiguity on that point, and the state would be requesting a formal finding on the record, which would appear to be most procedurally appropriate.
All right. Is the officer still there with you, Miss Phillips?
I am.
Mhm.
Could you provide her with a written waiver of counsel to read?
I can.
Thank you. Let me know when she has that. It's a basically, Ms. Phillips, I believe you'll find it to be a brief written statement for you to look over to make sure that you understand your rights concerning an attorney and that you know them and that in spite of the rights, you want to waive them and proceed.
Oh, well, I can already tell you, no, I don't want to. I'm not going to do that.
You're not going to waive your right to an attorney?
No, I'm not going to do that.
Then what are you going to do? I don't see an attorney.
No, ma'am, you don't, but that doesn't stop me from speaking with the DA if he is more than willing to.
Well, he doesn't want to do it until he makes sure that you are knowingly waiving your rights.
Because then I'm giving up a right to speak. That makes me.
Peak sovereign citizen irony. Tracy says she has the money to hire an attorney, but nobody wants to take her case. Why? Because lawyers know when a client is toxic. Think about it. If you're a defense attorney and your client insists on arguing admiralty law in traffic court, you know you're walking into a train wreck. Attorneys aren't scared of Butler County. They're scared of clients who won't listen. That's the reality Tracy can't face. It's not the system rejecting her. It's her